that Allah says He put between the spouses expressed love and mercy. So again, it shows us what it's supposed to be like. And if these things are missing, then we know that something is not right. These are the ideals now, okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also describes the spouses as garments for one another. Libas. Now, if you look at a garment, I could say that a garment has maybe 3 main roles that it plays. The first is that a garment actually beautifies. This is why people put in so much money into the fashion sector, so much money into the fashion industries, because clothes actually are supposed to beautify. They don't only cover, but they also beautify. And similarly, a spouse is supposed to beautify the other spouse. What does that mean? It means to help the person become better, to beautify the person. Your marriage is supposed to be a means to become a better person, to become closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a character builder. And that's not always easy. Obviously, building anything isn't easy. Building muscle, ask anyone who goes to the gym. It's not easy. But it's something that makes you a better person. It beautifies you in the end. Secondly, a garment covers. And this is very important. A spouse is meant to cover the defects in the other spouse. And of course, I have to put a footnote here. This doesn't mean that if there's abuse, that you cannot seek help for that. So sometimes this is one of the main misconceptions that people have that keep them from seeking help, that keep them from seeking professional counseling, is they think, well, I cannot expose their flaws or their faults. Yes, in general, when you're sitting in a gathering, or you're with your girlfriends, or you're with your male friends, if men are with their male friends talking about their wives, or women are talking about their husbands, that's what it's referring to. You don't expose the faults and the flaws of your spouse in that way. But if you are going to seek help, then that's not considered backbiting. That's not what it's referring to. So when you're in public, for example, you don't make jokes mocking the other spouse or exposing something about them, but rather a garment covers. So if we have a defect or a scar on our body, the garment's going to cover that, right? It's not going to expose that. And it's not a very effective garment if it's exposing that. It's not doing one of its jobs. And another thing that a garment, the garment of a spouse does, is it covers a person's chastity. It helps a person to keep their own chastity. That's one of the roles that we play as a spouse for one another. That we help one another to stay loyal, and to lower our gaze, and to be modest, and to be chaste. And lastly, it protects from the cold. For example, right now, we're in the middle of winter in Toronto. So it's cold, it's been snowing, but you put on a jacket and that keeps you warm. So the garment in that sense is protecting you. It protects you, garments protect you from rain. If you put on a rain jacket, it protects you from rain. It protects you from cold. It protects you from heat if you put on certain garments to cover you from the sun. And in the same way, your spouse is supposed to protect you. A spouse is supposed to be a protector for the other spouse. Now, I've talked briefly, very briefly, about the ideal. But in life, we don't always get the ideal. You know, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us the very powerful and beautiful dua in the Quran, رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَاجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Is a very important word in this dua, and that's هَبْ لَنَا. Oh Allah, give us the gift. See, give us the gift of making our spouses and our children the coolness of our eyes, a source of comfort. But see, notice that the word used here is gift. Hiba is a gift. Hab lana, give us the hiba, the gift of this. Which means, now what, a gift, is a gift deserved, or can you buy it? You know, if someone's giving you a gift, have you paid for it? Do you necessarily deserve it? No. A gift is just given because the giver is generous.